Now, I see Jordan Lewis is on the press release to appear as well, so I would assume, what odds the 4-time Premiership Hawk is the Premiership Cup ambassador for this
He's
year?
got a bit on his plate there, Geordie.
He has, because he's been named also, of course, to that 6-person coaching subcommittee chosen to select Essendon's next coach, which was the big news of the weekend. I was keen for your take on the makeup of this panel.
So staggered. Absolutely staggered. No, of course I was. But I'm also of the opinion that Essendon are a bit insular as a footy club who continue to go back to their own. So you can't have it both ways.
Yeah. Why were you staggered, though?
Well, because Robert Walls.
Okay, so the chair is Josh Marnie.
The only thing I was staggered was that Dermot Brereton wasn't.
So the chair, for those who don't know, is Josh Marnie, of course, the head of football. Robert Walls, you mentioned, the Aussie netball champion Simone McInnes, the former NAB CEO Andrew Thorburn, and the club director Dorothy Hisgrove.
Yeah, no, Wolsey, when I say staggered, I love Wolsey to death, but I know that he and Kevin Sheedy have punched on.
What does it mean for Sheeds?
I don't think it means anything to Sheeds. He will continue to be Sheeds. But it was, of all the people that you could have thrown up, and I didn't take into account his relationship with David Barham over a long period of time, but gee, when I heard the name Robert Walls, I went, what?
Sheeds is on the board, right?
Yep.
The board that selected this panel, that selected Wolsey.
Well, yes. Well,
okay.
Yeah. We don't know whether David Barham had the absolute whip hand with assembling it or not.
Is this a media beat up, the Wolsey and Sheeds, or is this legitimate?
No, that's
legitimate. I think it's well documented.
Go to YouTube, look, Talking Footy, and away you go. Then you'll find out how real it is.
Yeah, I think the cards are on the table in that regard, Bucks, to be honest. But even though they clarified, didn't they, over the weekend, so exactly what they're after in a coach. So David Barham's words were, we think we need a more experienced coach. That might give us the best chance. That was then clarified by Josh Marnie on the ABC over the weekend, saying experience doesn't necessarily mean in the senior coach. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what David Barham meant at the time. That's exactly what he meant.
Yep.
But
I like Josh Marnie.
Yeah, good that there's clarification there. And really, it made no sense at the time to pigeonhole themselves to that. So now they're going for I guess, coaches who have a long CV. And we've seen Adam Kingsley get the job at GWS. We saw what Chris Fagan had done before he got to Brisbane, Craig McRae, Collingwood. The list goes on and on. You mentioned, what does it mean, Robert Walls' appointment for Kevin Sheedy? What does it mean for someone like Ross Lyon?
Yeah, well, that was straight away with where I went to.
He played a massive part in getting him to the Saints.
Yes. And unabashed fan, which is great because Rossi's been a terrific coach over the journey. Rossi's had a reluctance to throw himself back on the back of what happened at Carlton. I think he would be, I don't know if he would be more, if he's going to, but he would be more open to it with someone like Robert Walls there, who he trusts.
We've all got biases, there's no doubt, but knowing Wolsey, he's one of the few blokes that just can stay objective and sit out here and just have a look at what's there and make the decision that he thinks is best in that moment. It's a good appointment.
Yeah, so the question's always been of Ross, would he subject himself to the full-blown process? Now, only he can answer that. But if he does, well, he's open to do that, of course. And it also points to the fact that if Robert Walls appointed him as a first-time coach at St Kilda, then perhaps they could go down that path again, obviously.
And Jordan Lewis, you talk about unabashed, it was been on the record as saying that Adam Uze would be the next coach.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's put his flag in the ground there as well.
But,
so
again, this is as a commentator, which is when you're asked a question, you've got to give an answer. But when
in
you
this
get
case,
into the role, then you go and do what you do.
And you bounce ideas off each other, and that subcommittee will get to work. Geez, they've got to appoint a new coach. They've got to appoint a new CEO. They've got to conduct a widespread external review of their football department and their club operations as well. There's a lot to get done out there at Tullum Brand, it's fair to say, but I don't think Essendon supporters are upset about it because the Band-Aid has finally been ripped off. I think I'm speaking from the majority, and they can get to work now.
Is the sore going to fix it? Is it going to fester, or does it need a Band-Aid?
No, I think this is a good way to do it. It'll naturally heal. It'll naturally heal. You don't put the Band-Aid on.
I like
That's
it.
right. You let it scab up early.
I like
Get the antiseptic out.
You get it scab up early, don't you, Bucks? And then you just let it fall off
I
naturally.
don't like this analogy.